Hello fellow gamers and welcome back to LORED. In the last episode we were looking to getting It's Growing On Me unlocked. It's been a little while since I've been playing in this game, so kind of in the kind of offline mode it has kind of gathered enough resources in order to unlock that. So what we're going to do just to kind of kick off the episode is we are going to kind of find out exactly what that is. So having a quick look here, it looks like, yeah, these are, as expected, going to take a long time to kind of upgrade or get enough materials to upgrade that. But what we can do is you can go back to the Firestarter upgrade and see exactly what's going on with the perk that we unlocked. Okay, so we were so close, now we don't even think about it. So this has some sort of kind of automation like I was thinking last episode. It looks like it's now just going to automatically purchase Firestarter upgrades. Not a great deal of importance since we've only got one left. Still kind of looking to see what this output and input material is to kind of unlock veins. So a little strange. I thought it would be it'll be something else, but I was kind of partially correct in that it did have something to do with kind of auto leveling, but I was expecting something to do with veins. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of get a few of these kind of updated, see where we can get with. We seem to have a lot of upgrades here, so I'm just gonna click on through these, just get these leveled up. Looks like we are getting a lot of the kind of the later ones here on the cash shop, which is great, just because that's really gonna okay, so that's not quite enough, and then we can just hit a couple of squirtlings, get them up. Let's see if we got any kind of legendary so far. Let's have a look here. Looks like we got another rare, but still no legendaries. So I have a feeling it's going to take a little while to get that one, which is unfortunate. Let's have a look what else we have here. Yeah, none of them are really kind of sped up at all. Okay, so it's grown on me. It looks like this is going to be this effect. Okay, so it's grown on me. So this one is going to increase the iron and copper output based on the level of our growth load Percy. Right now it is at 35, so that would be 35 times whatever the value is that it's creating. As you can see here, these are really kind of leveling up now. Malignancy is up to level 42, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of these. It's going to take a while to get this leveled up enough. Get VATs, juice fill amount times 2. We kind of want to get like some of these upgrades, because I feel like kind of after the last episode, unlocking this hasn't really done a lot. With the kind of the unlocks for the very first prestige that we did, where all the lords were unlocked when we did prestige, I have a feeling that this perk here is going to kind of roll into the next prestige, especially saying is that this It's Grown On Me is kind of not going to take effect until we prestige. I would love to kind of get that max juice multiplies output and input. I would like to kind of try and get that before we do kind of prestige another time. So I think with this It's Grown On Me perk going to be a big multiplier for iron and copper, I think what we need to do now is, before we kind of focus on this, 17 hours is going to take a long time in order to kind of level up the malignancy high enough to kind of narrow that down. I think it's going to take a little bit too long. If we go back on to malignancy, it does take iron and copper in order to upgrade. So I think what we do is we kind of upgrade, I think we prestige now, and then with that It's Grown On Me perk, we should be able to kind of level up malignancy a little bit quicker with that additional perk, and then we should hopefully be able to get back to where we started. So let's go and prestige now. Yeah, I think because It's Grown on Me is going to give the iron and copper such a high multiplier, I think we should prestige now with this being unlocked so we can take that into consideration. I think, because iron and copper is really kind of going to be how we get kind of those malignancy levels up higher. I think with the Grown on Me multiplier, that's just going to get this up quicker, and we are going to do that. Even with that extra level, it is going to still take 8 hours. So I think what we can do is prestiging is not going to take that long at all. So let's kind of prestige. Let's kind of like take it back to the very beginning, from which now we'll also have the auto purchase, which I believe it should be turned on. Yep. So that'll kind of level up things as it goes. We already have, the levels, the auto leveling on all of these, so this should take no time whatsoever. What we want to do is we want to try and get growth unlocked just so we can really get those iron and copper ingots kind of leveled up as quickly as possible. And you can see here all of these fire starter upgrades are kind of leveling up automatically, so it should be a matter of time before we get to the point that we're at. After about an hour or so, we are kind of back where we were before the prestige. Things did kind of take a little while. It was pretty slow until we unlocked the rage juice, and then once the rage juice kind of unlocked, it was a snowball effect. All of these were maxed out in the last like 2 or 3 minutes, and it was just a case of just click, 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 click. So now that we're back where we are, what I've done is I've set up so that growth is on ignore conditions for auto leveling. That's going to be like pretty important from looking at this being the kind of the next upgrade on the juice pot. Then when we kind of go with that, we're not quite up to getting malignancies up high enough or producing malignancies quick enough, so I'm going to kind of spend a little bit of time. But as you can see here, it's just the amount of iron and copper that's getting produced now is just so quick with that last prestige upgrade of the It's Grown on Me. It is just making this a hell of a lot easier to kind of level up. We're already at 1 day for that, and it's taken minutes now to kind of get that upgraded. Also, we just seem to be producing so much of everything else. I'm just kind of leveling up things here and there. I have a feeling that some of these are going to need to be upgraded on some of the more later unlocks as we get there. It just all comes in handy. The end goal is getting malignancies up, and the quicker we can get that. So we're just going to spend a little bit more time. I mean, yeah, look at these. These are just going up so quick. I might even kind of set these up to auto upgrade, because that just means we can get these malignancies up quicker and quicker. And like I say, with the rage juice, it's just some of the things just speed up so quick. I mean, an hour to get back to where we were, which took maybe a couple of days of offline kind of grinding. These were taking 10-15 minutes to upgrade. They're taking like seconds now. Shouldn't take any time whatsoever. And then once we kind of get this upgraded, we can have a look to see if this next one has a kind of similar sort of malignancy cost to do that, because these ones are taking a lot of malignancies to be able to do that. And kind of looking at these, like, obviously this is going to be the automation. This is going to be exactly like the It's Grown on Me, where you can automatically upgrade these, which will just take away any of the clicking aspect of the game. and then we just need to kind of focus on these malignant upgrades. And then other than that, I'm still not seeing any of these resources for whatever this is. So I'm trying to figure out, I wonder what that is. Because this is all about juice and then automating the juice part. This is more juice, kind of like more upgrades based around that. The greens seem to be all juice related. The reds seem to be rage juice related. So I wonder if it's this muck upgrades which unlock the next type of materials. Now these are all stage 1 lords. I haven't seen any stage 2 stuff. So I wonder if this muck upgrade and upgrading the swamp unlocks like stage 2, for example. But the only way to do that is basically leveling up malignancies as quickly as possible and trying to get that kind of, if we can get this up to about 50 or so, I feel like these are going to take like next to no time. And I'm really hoping that this unlock here is going to be the same, so we can see if we can get 2 unlocks this level. But based on rise and juice and tanks being such a vast difference in the number, that's what, non-alien, if I can get my words out. That's non-alien, whereas this is octillion. So it's like a factor of 10 difference between those. So I wonder if this sextillion will go to septillion. We'll find out. We will see exactly what's going on. All that we can do now is just keep trying to level up things and kind of see where we are. So we're at 43 right now. Things are slowing down a little bit. It is taking about 2 minutes to kind of go for that, but with these ones only taking a few seconds to level up. I'll kind of keep speeding that up. And then what I've also done is just made sure that these 2 are on kind of ignore conditions as well. But right now, all we kind of need is growth. I'm wondering if we just kind of turn off any of the auto leveling for all of these right now. So if we take off all of these and just focus on coal, stone, and then iron as well. Because right now we don't seem to need anything here except for the malignancies for the malignant upgrades. Growth seems to be the last one on the juice part. So yeah, let's spend a little bit of time just kind of leveling up, keeping on going, and then when we get to some significant kind of change or upgrade or something fun that we can see what happens, we'll kind of see what's going on.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And finally, after a little while, we have got enough malignancies to get this capacity for evil upgrade. So this is going to max juice multiplies output and input. So right now we can get 10 juice at any one time. So that's going to kind of multiply that by tenfold. And with that, we can also get the next one. The next one's actually not that bad. I was kind of worried that it was going to do something similar where there was going to be a lot of difference between the actual numbers, but it looks like it's going to be the same. So commune, there is a small chance each time a lord finishes a job while juiced to increase this effect. Okay, so max juice plus each time a lord finishes a job while juiced to increase this effect. So I wonder with this, I think if a lord finishes it might be a permanent upgrade. And that could be pretty huge, just because if there's no cap on how many juices a lord can have, this is also going to make the other ones real high. Sorry, it wasn't in this one. It was in this tree here, where was it? It was one of these where basically like like less juice compared to max would multiply, and then max juice would also multiply. So that could be huge. That could be another exponential growth. So I think what we need to do is, before we prestige again, I think getting these two would be like the best way to kind of do it. These obviously, I mean, 5 years, 5 centuries, 5 decades. These are going to take a hell of a long time. So I think, like, in order to get the malignancies where we can get them leveled up quick enough, we need to get those next kind of prestige in there. Yeah, like I was saying before, I did turn off the majority of these. We don't really need them for any other reason right now. So none of these auto buyers are on. I even turned off the coal because right now we don't need that either. We have a massive bottleneck on stone. Every upgrade that we need is all reliant on stone. You can see there, in order to get the iron upgrade, we need more stone, and we have almost 10 times as much copper as we need. Same with this one. So we seem to be getting a real bottleneck on kind of stone. The malignancies, obviously that does take the copper and iron, but we can't upgrade them because we are waiting on that stone output. So basically all I've been doing is, in between each recording, is I've put these on and off. So I have been kind of like turn them on for a little bit just for enforcing, turn them off a little bit just to kind of see if I can get, because the stone really is starting to bottleneck, and it's getting to the point that even these need too much stone, and obviously iron and copper is needed to upgrade the stone, and so I've just been kind of force upgrading and on and off on that one, which seems to be working a little bit, albeit slower than I was expecting. Saying as we are doing the same things, I don't want to bore you guys with kind of leveling up and waiting for malignancies and then doing another prestige and clicking through. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get commune up to unlock that, and then I'm also going to prestige and get back to where we are now in the next prestige. Okay, so I kind of got a little carried away. It was actually a little quicker than I thought it might have been. So basically what I've done now is I managed to get myself back to where we were before on the previous prestige, and already we have been getting malignancies crazy. So we're able to kind of unlock the first 2, 3, 4. You see, we're able to unlock all of these so quick now, like to the point that we're kind of getting there on the max side. What I would like to do is I would kind of like to get all of these kind of maxed out. At the rate that they are going, it won't be long at all. Also on this one, we have now got the first kind of few levels of VATs. So the juice fill amount, I mean, it's going up. We've even managed to kind of max that out. So the juice fill now is 128. Okay, so like with what those upgrades are, looking at the max juice, any stage 1 lord can now brew juice, which is insane when we get those done. But the one that I was kind of looking at is right now is this one here. So the commune max juice plus 231. So essentially that is just making so much juice right now. Then when we prestige this one and get the kind of the rise in juice, that's just going to create so much juice to the point that it's not going to be needed now. We've already got it down to minus 3.28, but we always have a constant supply of about 200 plus. Doesn't seem to go down at all. Also with the rage juice, the way it's kind of like depleting now, it doesn't take long to kind of maintain that 60. 0.667 per second we're losing, but as you can see, like look at raw copper for example, it is taken so long for that rage juice to kind of deplete. It's almost like we have infinite juice right now. So what that does mean is it does mean that we are mainly creating juice because we're not using the growth to create juice and rage juice. So we have more growth kind of creating on that one. And as you can see here, we're already kind of just leveling up stuff. So it's not taking any time at all just to kind of get through. So I'm going to max out these, and then it's going to take 1 year to get whatever that number is, 10 UDC, and that's going to output the multiplier to 2.1. Okay, I wonder how that is going to make, like how much of a difference that's going to make. And you know, 1 TDC is going to take so much time to do that, but I think with the way this is kind of grown, especially with kind of like all of these in the next one, see that one there is going to be a 4 times multiplier. So I wonder if that 4 times multiplier is going to kind of apply to that as well, because the max juice is going up like pretty often. It was 230 before, it's already at 265, and that just means that we're creating more and more and more. Then if we also have each of the lords making their own juice as well, that just means we have an even bigger chance to create more bonus juice or more max juice as such. So that's probably going to be in the next, well, it says here, so it says it's going to take 16 minutes just to get that max up, and then it's going to take another 5 minutes to get that. But the way it's kind of increasing, like I say, it's just such an exponential kind of growth right now. We're already at level 67. It's just going up so quick. I'm actually going to take that off to the ignore conditions, and I think I'm going to take this one off, and then we're just kind of run it as normal now, just because we don't need to kind of have those kind of constantly going off. And looking at the upgrades as well, nothing new. Like as we were kind of looking at, it's only malignancies now that we're trying to level up, so the quicker we can get those to level up, the better. Like I say, this one's actually down to 2 days. I almost want to kind of do this before we prestige as well, just so we have it unlocked so that it will kind of automatically upgrade all of these, because like I say, that's going to be the last upgrade in the juice pot, which just means that we don't have to worry about that. We also have the fire starter on automatic as well, so we don't have to worry about that. The only thing that we need to kind of look at is basically creating the malignancies to upgrade these. Malignancies do carry over to the next round, so we can just kind of spend a little bit of time just kind of doing like a little kind of like resource gathering just kind of before we do that. Not that there's much point, because like I say, like kind of the UDC, it's going to carry over anyway, so we either will get it now or we get it on after the prestige. But these ones here are going to be such a massive amount. These ones here are just going to be such a massive amount. We've already maxed out tanks, so we have ×4 multiplier. Then we have all the lords next prestige are going to be leveling up. And then again, I'm not really too kind of bothered about this max juice, just because we're just making so much more now with the commune. It's not really like necessary to wait 15 minutes for this just to get one more max juice, and then however long it'll take to get level 10. So I think what I'll do is I'll look to get this one up maybe next prestige, because I have a feeling that it's going to be so much quicker once we get all of these kind of once we get these malignant upgrades kind of like in effect as well. So let's prestige, let's see what happens. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot quicker, so let's have a look. Okay, we've already got those 6 unlocked. These are all just kind of upgrading, so it's just going to be, I like to kind of click on some of these when I see, just to kind of speed it up a little bit, because while the upgrades are good, it's kind of not as reactive as you can be.
11 minutes later.
And a little bit of upgrading later, and we are back to where we were with the lords. So let's have a look here. Now it is going to take about 4 hours just to get this auto upgrade, so not too long there. So we have got pretty much everything maxed out on these first 2 tabs. It is going to take 16 days to get the multiplier increase for upgrade _name, and then it's still going to take 4 millennia to get the swamp. So that's going to take a serious amount of time. I did put 1 level up into potential for good, so we are kind of looking pretty solid on that. It's already kind of going relatively quick. In terms of malignancy, it is quite a nice level.
Nice.
That is going up quick again. Already into the UDC numbers for kind of iron and copper. So things are increasing. It's such an astronomical rate. It's just absolutely wild how these numbers go up. I mean, 400 and almost 500 DC coal is just, you know, just think, if you go back to the first episode when we were like creating, like waiting for like 100 or so coal or this, that, and another, even going back to when at the very beginning, the fair trade, if you all remember, I think you received 500 coal for unlocking this, and we were kind of like deciding whether or not to unlock, I think it was Grandma, which cost 600 coal total, but because we were like so low on resources, we just wanted to wait because we didn't want to spend 600. And now, I mean, the numbers are just crazy, and that's kind of what I like about kind of idle games like this. You know, it is such a dopamine fix when you kind of see all these numbers kind of grow, and then you level up things and kind of like keep on going and going and going. So it's super addictive. They have kind of like thought about quite a lot on the progression side of things. With it being an idle game, it is starting to slow down a little bit now for some of these like kind of higher upgrades. I know we had like a big spike with these kind of like 5 things here, like kind of once we had enough to kind of unlock both of these. This commune seemed to be doing quite a lot of the increase in the numbers, just with the perk of like depending on where you are with juice, as well as where you are like kind of on the depletions, had like a multiplier effect. And as you can see here, 669 juice is kind of what I was looking at and what I was talking about kind of before, where the max juice multiplier does actually multiply the commune stat. So I think kind of last proceed we got up to around kind of 300 max juice, so that will eventually get up there, and because of that it'll kind of multiply by 4. So you can see here 721. I think every time we get it should be 725 next. Yep. So every time we get the commune trigger, it adds 4 to the max. So what that does is that's just going to keep increasing and increasing and increasing, and because of that increase, the multipliers that are going to be applied to all of these just means that we're getting so much more kind of multipliers, kind of making even wilder numbers. We've already kind of leveled up 2 malignancies just in the space of us talking there, and you know, with the way that things are leveling up, you can see here both the rage and the juice, which is kind of like increasing that kind of bar. It says 1 minute, but again, that's kind of a rough indication at this point, just with the kind of the chance of things triggering kind of does skew that a little bit. You can see there it'll just not do anything, and then all of a sudden it'll just like jump up. A lot of progress. So kind of with that being said, you know, we are kind of ticking along now. It's going to take a full day to get that next one updated. What I really want to do is kind of just get this swamp unlocked. If we can get that by the end of this episode, great. You know, like kind of these are kind of just, these kind of don't really, these kind of take a little bit of time. There's no way of kind of increasing them. They are kind of what they say they are. So if it's going to be, you know, 8 hours to increase the dollars per second, 36 minutes, this just kind of multiply. So you can see here, I remember when we first started, the gem cup was like 0. Well, it's the same as what gem universe is, that 0.000244. Now we're doing like 7,000 per second, and the reason for that is, you know, this is kind of like it stacks. So because we got 5 levels in gem chest, that's going to be plus 0.00391, and that's every second that increases. So that increases every second, which increases that, which increases that. That's why we're up to 2. 6 trillion now on that one, which is cool. But again, this one's such a slower progress. We've almost kind of maxed out, microtransactions, which is kind of going to give it a double multiplier by the end once we do that. The crit multiplier, so we actually getting like a higher crit amount. We almost got that one maxed out as well. Login rewards, the input is getting less and less and less. I mean, 20% of what the original amount is for the input. If we have a look here, let's see what's the best one. Okay, yeah, so if you look here, like kind of 20% of coal is now used to produce the amount of coal. So if you remember, like kind of when we first started, it was a 1-for-1. So already, I mean, with all of these upgrades, it's such a small amount, and that's just going to keep getting less and less and less. Hopefully we can get it to the point. I'm kind of curious to what it would be, given that it's level 7 of 10, it's already at 0.2. I wonder if level 8, 9, and 10 is going to reduce it another 12%. So if it would be 0.08 for the input, but I have a feeling that's just going to kind of slow down. So I think it'll probably be 0.1. So it'll only be using 10% of the resources input. Oh, and here we go. So we already have, this kind of took no time at all. I think this must be, see, level 72, and kind of now we have all of the upgrades for Juice Pot. Now we're just kind of trying to get this kind of next material kind of unlocked, which, again, I do have a strong feeling it is going to be Swamp. The Swamp, that's the only thing that we haven't done. Everything else is kind of leveled up. It's going to take a little bit of time just to kind of get everything kind of there. I feel like we just kind of like have to just kind of sit back and let this level play out. Now, in order to unlock this upgrade, we do have to prestige. So let's kind of restart things. Oh, wait a minute. That kind of lagged a little bit. Okay, so just for those of you who kind of have just tuned in on this episode, hasn't kind of like looked back, basically this prestige system resets all of the LOREDs, all of the tech trees for Firestarter and Juice Pot. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to reset things, and then we are going to see what this is. So Muck upgrades. Okay, so this is kind of like, this is brand new, so let's see what's going on here. So a new leaf requires the stage 2 update. So we have reached the end of the demo. Requires the stage 2 update. So we'll have to kind of stay tuned on the updates, and once stage 2 unlocks, we can kind of carry on with this series. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one.